Hello, everyone. Welcome to Software Testing Mentor and RCV Academy. Today, I'm here with Archita, who is a fresh graduate and recently got a placement as an intern in one of the organizations. Now, why I wanted to invite Archita is basically to share her experience. So she has basically learned most of the testing concepts for free through YouTube and other courses. As such, she hasn't paid anything as such, so mostly through YouTube channels. She has learned all the concept and cracked this internship. So let's welcome Archita and get her experience. And so welcome, Archita.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Archita Jadhav. I want to share my personal experience about my internship. So basically, I am selected in one of the company, that is Maverick Lab Private Limited. So my husband, they are working on the Maverick Lab Private Limited previously. Okay, so now they are working in the Cognizant, but previously they are working in the Maverick Lab Private Limited. So I got to know that there is some profile, or there is some vacancy about the internship for a manual testing. So I go to that site and I apply for the internship. Okay, so after that they are taken some technical round. In technical round, they are asking me about the manual testing related questions, like what is a black box, white box testing, what is stub, what is driver, and they are asking me about a real time scenarios as well. Means, and also they are asking me about test scenarios, test cases.
Right. Okay.
Some of the points related to the manual testing.
Great. Okay. So it was, like around the questions that you mentioned. So can you share also what sort of scenario based questions they asked you?
Real time scenarios.
Yeah. Any
Okay,
example
so
that you remember?
yes, I know. They are asking me about pen related scenarios. So what are the positive and negative scenarios about the pen? And also they are asking me about the severity and priority. I'm not going to explain in the example in my terms. They are given examples of severity and priority, and I have to explain them what is the critical severity and what is the P0, P1, P2, means what is the priority of that applications.
Right. Okay. So they gave you a scenario, and then for that particular, say, for example, issue or defect, they asked you how will you, define the severity and priority for that.
Priority.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
Yes. What will be the? Can I give you example?
Yeah. Sure. Go ahead.
They are asking me about suppose I have an application like Amazon. Okay, so in Amazon homepage, the spelling of homepage is not correct, or it is wrong. So at that is, what is your severity and what is your priority?
Right. Yes.
So likewise.
Yes. Okay. So what was your, sort of answer, if you, want to share?
Answer about that.
For this scenario, how did you answer this?
Okay, so for that, it is not impacting on my customer business. So my severity is a minor. Okay. And also my priority is a higher, P0.
Right.
Because spelling mistake is not considered in any organization. So
yes,
as a priority wise, it is a high, and severity wise, it is a low.
That's correct. Yes, because like it's a reputational damage for such a big organization that there is a, spelling mistake, even though it is not impacting anything. So very, very good answer. Yeah. So great. So yeah, some good questions they have asked, and some scenarios. So basically they've given you the real scenario, and they have asked, say, for example, write the test cases positive and negative for a pen, right? So what did you answer for that question?
Yes, I answered for the first time. I have to for a positive scenario, is it a white pen or is it a black pen? So I need to consider first test with the it is a black pen or a white pen. Then like what is the pen, the cap, or like a cap? Is it a cap pen or like a TikTok pen?
Yeah.
I have to differentiate with them, and like.
Yeah, very, very good point, Archita, because many people, what they do is in the interview, the moment the question is asked, right, the intent of the interviewer when the question is being asked, say, for example, write the test case for this pen, right? You asked questions to them and clarified the requirement, what sort of color it is, whether it's an ink pen or it's a ball pen, right? Or it's a gel pen. So clarifying these requirements become really important, and this is what interviewers look for when they interview you, whether you will be collaborating, asking questions, clarifying the requirement before you actually jump into the test cases and testing, right? Because you need to know what exactly you are going to test, and that's what you ask. So really good point there. And to all the viewers, please note that this is basically these sort of questions, the way Archita has answered this pen question or any sort of test case or scenario related question. If you do not understand the requirements completely, you have to ask cross questions and clarify the requirement the way Archita did, right? So that's the point. Great answer there, Archita, because you cross question and you got the requirement and then you answered, which is very important aspect in interviews. Apart from that, anything else you remember and want to share?
Okay. They are asking me about what is a test closure or a test cascading about. As I'm a fresher, I don't know about in deep. I don't know about test closure, but theoretically, I know the test closure means it is a summary or it is a detailed explanation about all the test cases.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, I explain them.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, at your level, like at the fresher level, it's more to understand the process, and you should be able to explain what exactly it is. And nobody will expect you that you actually have, created test summary report or you have been involved until you have the experience. So that's good. Apart from that, any behavioral questions you have been asked?
Behavioral,
like anything they asked, why do you want to join this organization? Why do you want to join as an intern? Anything which is more of a HR related?
Yes. They ask me about that. They ask me about are you able to are you in the future, are you want to do a automation tester, means are you wanted to go with the automation one? So I said yes, I want to do automation testing as well.
Great. Okay. So basically,
because I only did manual testing, so I don't have any knowledge about the automation. So they asked me about automation as well.
Yes. Great. So to the viewers, the reason these sort of things are asked, whether you are willing to grow yourself with the organization and add more value. So like if you join as a fresher, whether you are willing to learn, you are keen to learn. So the answer here should be exactly like, yes, I want to learn, I will learn from the experiences of the team, and I want to grow my career and advanced into automation space and other advanced space into the testing. So great. Apart from this, Achita, I would also like to know what was your strategy in terms of preparing yourself for software testing? You are an engineering graduate and you're from electronics and telecommunications background, right? I see on your resume. So being from non-computer and IT background, how did you start preparing yourself, and what was your journey? Can you share a little bit?
Actually, basically from starting phase, my interest is like on IT field, because because some circumstances, because of some reason, I'm not able to join the IT field. I'm joined the non-IT field. I work in a Dhoot transmission as a production engineer for 8 months. So after that, I got married, and I took a 2 year of a break.
All right.
So so my family is supporting me for the testing field. My sister-in-law, she's a lead in testing.
Okay, great.
So she's also supporting me for the testing field.
That's great. So you got like a lot of family support there. Your husband also works in IT. Your sister-in-law works in IT, and that too in testing. So you got a lot of encouragement from them and guidance from them. In terms of learning, was the YouTube videos only thing that you refer to, or you read some books as well, or like how did you learn the overall concepts?
Actually, I learned from the YouTube videos and Google what are that, and I have any, if I have any doubts, then I ask to my sister-in-law. She
Oh,
clear me.
right. Okay, great. That's good. That's good. So you basically like watched all the manual testing series that I have posted, right? Manual testing and little bit of
Yes.
Java. Yeah. And anything, on the Selenium series or Python series that is there, that is too advanced at the
No,
moment
no,
for
no.
you?
I'm
Nothing.
nothing. I'm
Okay.
working on the basic of Java only because my husband's are a Java developer.
Mm-hmm.
It's Java developer, so I work on the Java basic Java.
Okay. Great. Great. Okay. Yeah, I think there is a
So I
lot of
got support from my husband and as well as my sister-in-law because
great.
he is a Java developer and she is a tester. So
Yes. Yes. Okay. Great. That's good. So overall, like you managed everything on your own, by yourself, through the courses that are there. So which is very good message to the people who are from the non-IT, or basically non-computer background, or IT background, and then that too with the 2 years of break in the career. Things are really possible if you basically are dedicated and get the right things without paying for any of the courses, right? So very, very good example set here, Archita. And I'm very sure that this video is going to be really, really helpful for the viewers, and will be, great asset. When they watch, they will be, very encouraged to pursue the path. So yeah,
and
great.
and one more thing I want to tell you about myself um or anyone never too late because after the marriage I took a 2 years of break for my some personal reasons. Then it is not possible me to learn a manual testing by myself by looking into the YouTube video.
Mhm.
But if you have that quality, if you are a hardworking, then you can get it or you can achieve this.
Right. Yes. Yeah. On that same note, Archita, so you watched the videos, and then did you actually, maybe practice something after watching the videos? Did you try to practice or try to write the test cases?
Yes, I practice it, but I already told you that my sister-in-law share me the modules or and she explained me the requirement, and
Hmm.
she like you have to do the task and you have to write the scenarios and test cases on this module, and this
Great.
will be your task.
That's good. That's good. Yes. Yes. So I think, yeah, that's the way basically to, like learn. So for the other viewers, basically, if you are watching a video on YouTube, make sure, first thing is that uh, if you get any sort of requirement, or some requirements are being explained, I have already posted some videos wherein I have defined the requirement and then how to convert those to test cases. So something similar, you can start thinking rather than just watching. After watching, start thinking, and then the way Achita did, that you write the scenarios and test cases to practice. You actually test the application. You launch any website and you try to test, you perform the steps, you log the defect report, or you write the defect report. So that's how you learn, and that's the correct way of basically learning, rather than just watching a particular course and not doing. It's actually watching, doing, and then again watching and doing. So great, great point there. Anything else you want to share, Archita?
Yes, that's it. I shared everything about me.
All right, great. Great, Archita. So would you like to, do you want me to ask some sort of, like manual testing questions? Um,
Yes,
or,
yes.
okay, okay, great. So I have the resume open. So let me ask, just few questions to you. So you mentioned about the black box and white box testing, right? So what is the difference between both?
Actually, a black box testing is a we can say we can test the application like a customers without knowing the internal structure or the implementation details. In a black box testing, we don't know the code, the methods, or the what are the functions we are using for the implementation. Or white box testing is a glass box testing or a transparent testing, in which we know all the code, means all the internal structure, all the methods, all the functionalities. So internal code is visible for the tester in a white box testing. Or in a black box testing, internal code or internal structure is a non-visible or invisible for the tester.
Right, great, yes. So I'll ask, like maybe an example. So when you joined as an intern, what testing you mostly do on a day-to-day basis? Is it a black box or white
Actually,
box?
I joined actually I got a letter, internship letter before 2 days. So I'm recently not joined with the
All
company
right.
from 5 March, I something 5 to 6 March. I'm
Okay,
joining.
great. Okay, great. All right.
But
So
they are given me the requirement for the system study.
right. Okay, great. Okay. So you mostly will be in like mostly like white box testing is very rare that a fresher or even like a person from the QA background, unless until you are really good at programming and know how to write unit test cases, you will be rarely performing white box testing. It will be mostly like black box, and then you will be eventually automating when you learn the automation tools. Great. So great answer there in terms of difference between white box and black box. It's very clear to you. You also mentioned about the bug life cycle. So what is a bug or defect, and why do we need a life cycle for a bug? So first, I mean,
Okay,
I want
so
to
first I need to
understand what is
explain
bug.
okay, so when the feature and functionality is not according to the customer requirement, then we mark it as a bug. If the tester is testing some application and the feature and functionality is not working properly as per the customer requirement, then tester mark it as a bug. And defect, when developer developing the code and after development they are doing unit testing. At that time, if they got any defect, anything that is not matching according to the customer requirement, then developer mark it as a defect.
Okay, so in the real scenarios, these two terms are used interchangeably, right? So bug and defect will be mostly same when you go to actual projects. The differentiation might be there in terms of theoretical, in bookish knowledge, but actually in the projects, it's sort of same thing. Okay, so when you go into the project, so there might be some companies, some projects follow the defect. Everything that is a deviation from the requirement is marked as a defect, or they will say a bug. Okay, so which is good. Like you would have.
And one more thing, they are previously asked me about on my intern questions. So they are asked me what is defect, what is bug, what is failure, and what is error. So I differentiate it
Yes,
in my
yes,
language.
yes. So there is, like if you go to the ISTQB book, there is all differentiation, and I have also created a video of exact, like differentiation. But in the actual projects, in the real life, interchangeably, bug and defect will be used. So that's where you need to, like understand that, yes, once you go into the project, there will be, no differentiation as such. Some projects will follow, they'll say defects, and some will say bug. Okay, and then error and failure is anyways different from the defect and bug. Okay, great. The next thing I want to understand is why is exhaustive testing very difficult or sort of impossible?
Because basically we perform exhaustive testing at whenever there is a missing in documentation, or there is a no requirement. So at that case, we have to explore the things and do the testing. So this is the exhaustive testing. Sorry, you are talking about exploratory, no?
Not exploratory, exhaustive. So
Okay,
testing's
sorry,
principle.
exhaustive. Yes. Sorry, I mistakes. My mistake. Sorry. So exhaustive testing means when it is not possible because suppose I am taken one example. Suppose my requirement says that it will take the my requirement says it will take only the value from 1 to 100. Okay. So first of all, I'm testing the application with a positive scenario like 1, 2, 3, and like a 90, 99, 98, 98. So it is not possible to test the overall scenarios or overall numbers.
That's
because
correct.
it is more time consuming.
That's
Or
correct.
it is more time consuming.
Yes.
And also, yes.
True. So basically, you took the example, which is really good. Like with this simple text box, which accepts values from 1 to 100, if you start testing it with the exhaustive approach, you can imagine like you will end up putting infinite numbers and testing it, and still you won't be able to test, right? Like you will put negative number, you will put millions and billions, and so that's where it says this principle that exhaustive testing is not possible because it's not feasible. It doesn't matter how much tool you use, how much automation you use, it's very difficult to achieve it. And it doesn't add any value. So that's where testing principle comes in picture, wherein you define there are test case design techniques which help you to design test cases so that you can get good coverage. So great. I think for now, Akita, I think I'll stop here. Okay. The key thing was to understand your journey, which you have shared, what sort of questions have been asked to you. And the next thing is, I wanted to ask a couple of questions to see how you would have answered to the interviewer, right? So basically, very good approach. You are confident. You have answered them very well. So, and your answers show that you have learned with the example. So very good. And this is basically, this will be really good video for other viewers, and they will learn a lot from this video. So thank you very much, Artita, for joining.
Thank you, sir. And really very thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving me the chance. And your team is responding very quickly on my mail. I mailed before the 10 days, and I got a call from yesterday from your team that you have an interview when we schedule it. So thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, they are proactive. I mean, so basically, I live in Australia. They work from India, so we'll be like mostly coordinating with them in future as well. Yeah, but it would have been more quicker, but I was like kind of in India for long leave for a couple of months and recently came back. So now I'm back to the overall interviews, tutorials, and there'll be a lot more coming on the channel. Okay, any questions for me before we
no, sir, actually I want my feedback.
All right. Okay. So I'll record the feedback as well. So basically, your initial journey that you have shared, appreciate that. In terms of questions that I have asked, okay, really good answers. You have taken the examples. You have taken pause, which is really good. And at the fresher level, if you are giving answers with this approach, I think not only internship, you will be in really good position in good MNCs very soon. You just have to keep learning. The feedback which I have on your resume is something you improve your resume, right? So your resume doesn't reflect your actual personality or the knowledge. So you have to ensure whatever you are, at least your resume represents that. Because seeing your resume, I didn't realize that you will be, having this good knowledge. So ensure that your resume is formatted properly. It has good content there. So when I say content, basically you write the details and descriptions, what project you did in your college. And basically there is a video that I also posted, how you can create your resume as a fresher or as an experienced candidate. Maybe I'll share the link with you afterwards, so you can improve on that. But in terms of interview, it's all good. just maintain this pace. Do not get, panic or anything. You just think of an interview as a general conversation, and just let the interviewer know whatever you know, right? You can't learn everything in this world. We know very little. So just appreciate that fact that yes, everyone knows very little from their field, and you are still learning, and everyone learns their whole life. So be confident and you'll be absolutely fine.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So thank you, Archita. It was a pleasure talking to you, and have a nice day.
Me too, sir. Thank you.